Mrs. Moorhead. So
Hello.
this is your fourth year in
Mhm.
Belton School District,
Yes.
and you are pursuing your master's degree
Hmm.
in administration.
Yes.
And through that master's degree, you have done a lot of work and a lot of research on project-based learning and the STEAM philosophy and
Mm.
format of education.
Yes.
And I have got to witness you over the last 2 years use project-based learning in your classroom. And so I have a few questions that I'd like to ask you regarding student success in a project-based learning classroom.
Sure.
All right. So my first question is how is project-based learning different from the traditional approach?
In the traditional approach, most of the time the teacher is the one who is spending the most time talking. The teacher designs the lessons, and then the students just fulfill the requirements of the lessons. They are learning, but it is in the traditional style of pencil, paper tasks, and working in groups sometimes. With the project or with the STEAM approach, with the problem-based learning approach, students are working in groups collaboratively, and they are working to solve a problem through exploration and discovery and sometimes even failure.
Okay, thank you. What is the effect on student learning in a project-based classroom?
The effect on student learning, there's been several studies that have suggested that student achievement improves with project-based learning and STEM-like activities. So because students are working collaboratively and they are working to find the answers to their own problems, it relates to achievement and more critical thinking.
And how are individual student needs met in that STEAM and project-based learning approach?
Differentiation is a great way to happen in project-based learning. Differentiation is part of one of the pieces. So meeting students' needs at all of their levels happens when students are working to when they are working in their groups. Their strengths play out. So some students have strengths in one area, and that plays into the group dynamic, while other students, maybe if they have a weakness in one area, the other students kind of make up for that. So working in the groups allows for a natural differentiation and for the students to meet their needs.
And my last question today is how do you assess student understanding?
Student understanding comes into play when the teacher designs the activity that the problem that the students will be solving. And I like to use scoring guides and rubrics that are modeled after the Common Core language and the standards that the students are supposed to address. And those are given to the students before they even begin the project, so that they are expected, they have their learning outcomes that they use. And that's what I use to assess them.
Thank you very much for that information.
Thank you.